My name is Charity Wenham. I teach second grade at Southeast Elementary School. My very first year of teaching, I taught in a self-contained behavior classroom with 11 students. And I also taught 7th grade special education full inclusion.
My name is Dr. Joe Aukus. I am a professor at Grandview University, and I currently work with students that are working to get their special education endorsement. I was a special education teacher for a number of years in 3 different districts. Worked with everything from the severe and profound students to students that had severe behavior disorder and students on the autism spectrum.
Hello, my name is Xander Wolf-Lamont. I'm a member of the high-functioning autism spectrum diagnoses family, and I'm loving it. I was kind of talked down to a bit. They treated me like I was a bit less intelligent than the other students, and that continued on into high school.
When I taught middle school, I have encountered teachers who, in my opinion, treated special education students poorly. I had 8th grade students who could read at a 2nd grade level, and the science teacher at the time expected those students to complete assignments and read textbooks at the 8th grade level, which is not a possibility if you're a 2nd grade reader to be able to read through the text independently. So then I ended up modifying and basically reteaching in a section of my classroom the science curriculum so that they could understand and grasp the standards and concepts versus just reading the text. A lot of teachers are willing to make accommodations for students. They will make modifications to curriculum and expectations. Other times, teachers have the same expectation of work completion as non-special education students.
So back when I was in elementary and middle school, I think one of the things that I tried to do as a special education teacher was train and teach and instruct the gen ed students about the students that I had that had disabilities. And so I would work with the gen ed teachers, and I would say, okay, you're getting this student next year. These are the disabilities. And then I would come into the classroom and share about, obviously with permission from the parents, but just to kind of say, you don't need to be scared about a student with a disability. If you have questions, I'm here to answer them. And they were super welcoming when they understood. Sometimes students can act out if they're unaware of, because they're scared. They've never seen somebody with a physical disability, or they've never seen somebody have a meltdown throwing a fit on the floor. And so it's more just an education thing. And so
it was a mixed bag. Teachers treated me nicely. It's more of the fact that, like, they use something called seclusion rooms, which is actually very unhealthy for people with autism spectrum diagnoses. Essentially, what happened was that because I was born lower functioning and I didn't know what I was doing at all with anything. So and I didn't know how to properly express myself with any clarity or dignity with that. So they shoved me in a seclusion room, which is this room that's adjuncted, separated off from the rest of the students, and they leave me in there for hours at end.
Most of the students that do have issues with gen ed peers are the kids that have behavior concerns when they act out in a classroom. It's easy for students to start making fun or to, again, it's like, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to laugh at you. With my students that had more severe cognitive disabilities, it was probably more the mimic. So like if they had a tic, I had one student that did a lot with his hands, and so you would see students doing that same type of thing with their hands, and it was like, really?
It's the lack of understanding. It's the fact that, like, some people, though, did understand. The vast majority of my peer group, they understand, and they understand me. And,
Yeah.
They see past it. They see past the diagnosis, which is what I want everyone to do.
I teach pedagogies of the exceptional learner, and we go through tons and tons of disabilities. And in that time, it's like, people are like, I had no idea. Well, I didn't know this. And I'm like, well, you could have a student like that that's in your classroom. Gen Ed or special ed, it's for all of our education students. And just that knowledge of, okay, well, what do I do? If I'm a math teacher and I have this student with autism in my classroom, what am I supposed to be doing? And giving them strategies that when you are a teacher, because they're going to be there. We're an inclusive, least restrictive environment, and knowledge is power.
We as teachers need to educate our own classrooms about the diverse needs of students. I know specifically in my class we do a lot of lessons on fair versus equal, so that students understand that just because student A needs this to be successful in math, student B might not need that, but student C might need this. So everybody gets what they need to be successful at a grade level.
Be more inclusive. Accept us as just friends. As just, treat us as intelligently as you treat another peer. And if you see someone who has special needs and they look alone, go up, talk to them. Even just being next to them helps a lot. In middle school, I was alone, primarily, because I was just very much a loner. In middle school, in elementary school, in high school, I had friends, but I didn't have anyone who really understood me for who I am. Go to them. Sit down next to them. Even just talk around them. Talk with them. Engage them in any kind of conversation, lest it be Star Wars or anything. Just anything that they find interesting. Talk about it with them. When they don't see me as the label, it brings joy to my heart, because I know that I'm loved, that I'm wanted.